Okay, so guys, I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Jessica. I am the recruitment specialist here at the TEFL Institute. Before this role, I actually did 2 internships myself, 2 TEFL internships in Europe and Asia. So I guess I do know how you're feeling at the moment and, you know, what you want to learn about internships. And I guess myself, I did it to as a way to gain experience and to start my TEFL career. So I'm really excited today to talk about internships. And we're also going to cover our virtual teaching practice course as well. So today, guys, we're going to cover, what is a TEFL internship? What can you gain from it besides an amazing travel experience? Secondly, I'm going to interview some of our past interns, Lily and Grania, who are here today. Grania is a past South Korea intern, and Lily is a current volunteer on our Thailand program. So I'm just going to ask them a few questions and get their experience and any advice they have as well. Then thirdly, I'm going to go on to our virtual teaching practice course. So what is this course? What can you gain from it? And I'm also going to be speaking with our marketing intern, Aisling, who's going to talk about her experience of doing the course as well. Finally, then we're going to have a Q&A session at the end if you do have any burning questions. But please feel free to pop in any questions you have throughout the webinar in our chat box here. I want this to be an open conversation, and even if you're brave enough to shout out the question, absolutely do. Okay, just to check there, guys, everyone can hear me clearly and they can see me perfectly. If you want to give me a thumbs up, that would be great. All right, lovely, fantastic. Okay, so I just want to start by asking who is here interested in doing an internship? Maybe if you can give me another thumbs up or write in the chat what location you're thinking of or where you'd like to teach abroad. Maybe if you want to pop in the chat what destination you're thinking of, if any interest. So I see there potentially Italy. Yeah, Italy is fantastic. Oh, another Italy. Yeah. Korea. Yes, Korea. So we do have our South Korean intern here, so you can ask her a few questions as well. Germany or Japan? Yeah, absolutely. Europe is definitely a popular one recently. Italy or France? Madrid. Oh yeah, Madrid is beautiful. Cambodia or Thailand. Yeah, it's great because we actually have a lot of internships in these destinations, guys. So definitely worth checking out. Okay, so guys, let's start off with simply what is a TEFL internship. So a TEFL internship, if you're new to teaching, our TEFL internships are a great springboard and a way to get your foot in the door for a TEFL career. Because as I'm sure many of you know, a job hunt can be difficult and it can be quite tedious. So this is a great way to get your foot in the door and a springboard to your TEFL career. The majority of our internships are paid with a full-time salary. So you will have that full-time contract, but with the support and training that an interning employee would receive. So that is the difference between a regular TEFL job and our internships. Our internships can last from anywhere from 1 month to 1 year. And also our contracts can be renewed as well if you really, really love the internship and you want to stay on. We also have volunteering opportunities. As I said, Lily's here today to speak about this. If you can't commit long term, and especially if you want experience that really stands out on your CV, you know, to have that volunteering experience, regardless if it's a teaching job or any job, it looks fantastic on your CV. So what are the benefits of a TEFL internship? So of course, as I said, we're going to bypass the job hunt and it's a fast track to a TEFL job. So once you sign up for our internship, put in your application and any documents that are needed, we can book you right in for a TEFL interview. So It's really the fastest way to get a job, and you get to skip all the struggles of searching for a job online. Another point would be to see if TEFL teaching is right for you. You might have done the course, but you don't have that real life experience yet. So this is a perfect way to say, okay, is this the career for me? Thirdly, which I think is a really important one, is to be able to add international experience to your CV. So this will, showcase that you are, have a cultural awareness. You can adapt easily to new surroundings, and especially in increasingly diverse workplaces now, this is usually expected to have some kind of international experience on your resume. And I think lastly, definitely one of the most important is to have to earn really sought after soft skills in, for example, communication, interpersonal skills, managing people, public speaking, and presentation skills, which are really sought after. So it's fantastic to be able to add this to your CV, regardless of what industry you're going into. So what do we offer? So as I said before, we have a lot of destinations for our internships, anywhere from East Asia, Southeast Asia to Europe. We also have non-degree programs. So if you have not completed university, we do have locations such as Cambodia, Spain, Germany, and also volunteering in Thailand. So no degree is required for this. So again, an opportunity to get your hands on a job if you are struggling in that job search. Also, we have short-term and long-term placements. So for instance, we have short-term placements in Thailand and Vietnam for only 4.5 months. If you're not ready for the full commitment, or if you are looking for something more longer term, we have 1-year contracts in places such as South Korea and Japan, and they can be renewed as well. And of course, a huge advantage of internships is that you will get a cultural orientation and also teacher training that not all jobs can offer. Sometimes they'll just throw you right in the deep end and you just have to adjust. So I think that's a massive pro of the internships. So before I talk with our interns, guys, I'm just going to add in a few links there if you are looking for more information on our internships. And also you can have a look at what destinations are available at the moment. Okay, so you should see the links just there in the chat, guys, if you want to have a look and if you want to book on. And as I said, please feel free to ask any questions throughout. Oh, I have a question already from Nigel. Do you think age is a barrier at all? I think if you're referring to the internships, you will need to check for every internship. We have a different age requirement, but we definitely have some internships that go from up to 65 years of age. So don't feel disheartened or discouraged. There's definitely an opportunity for you there. So Valentina, I understand it's 18 to 30. Yeah, generally that's quite a popular age that employers want to recruit. But as I said, we have a variety of internships with different age ranges, so it's definitely worth checking out. Okay, so guys, I'm going to start with Lily, as I said, our volunteer who's currently teaching in Thailand on our volunteering program. So Lily, if you could just start, take us through, tell us about the school and your students that you're teaching at the moment on your internship and how you're getting on.
Hi, everyone. So at the moment I'm teaching in the local school. There's loads of local schools, but the one I'm in, the age range is like kindergarten right up to secondary school. It's all combined. So it was really nice. Like, I suppose as a volunteer, my schedule is a bit more flexible. So I got the opportunity. They asked me what age range I would like to teach in. So I've chosen kindergarten. So my schedule as well is quite flexible at the moment. I've chosen to do 3 days a week. So usually it's 2 classes in the morning, and then the kids have break time and nap time after their lunch, and then I come back and I would teach in the afternoon, and it would be 3 classes for the day, and it's really a cool environment to be part of, because it is a completely different way the school is run. Every, like their layout, meal times, little things in between, that like cultural differences that you don't even kind of think of. It's my first time in Asia, so I am experiencing all of it.
Have you
But
gotten
yeah,
a bit of culture shock yet?
yes, definitely. Loads of different things I didn't even kind of consider. Like, I suppose even like the age group of the kids, some of the kids are like super young. I don't have a background of teaching in Ireland. It's not my career beforehand. So I suppose
Sure.
this was a great opportunity to see, do I like teaching? And so I suppose like the kids are so young, sometimes you kind of forget. But the teachers, the Thai teachers are like super nice. They're really like, they're happy for me to lead the class, and then they'll like come in and help if like there needs to be a little bit of translation. They're super supportive in the school.
Great.
So it's really nice environment.
That's great. And do you think, if you look back to day one when you started and now, do you feel more confident now about delivering a lesson?
Yeah, definitely. I think even like I spent the first day shadowing, which was really nice, just to, I suppose, yeah, like even get over that culture shock of like seeing how the school is set up and everything about it. And like obviously their day-to-day school life would be very different to ours. And then like, yeah, I do feel like my first day teaching, I was quite nervous.
Yeah.
Especially when they're at that age, they love singing. They love doing a little dance. So I had to build myself up to that, but now we're great.
So you need a lot of energy.
Yeah. I think with the intern or the internship, the volunteering program as well, it's really nice because because my schedule is a bit more flexible than if I was in school every single day. I get the opportunity to maybe sit in. I get to help out doing an English camp, where I get to teach kids more like secondary school level. So you get to see like their level of English and figuring out how best to interact with them. And yeah, we can link in with there is more adult learners that we can link in with, and so it's always like a different step. So it's kind of nice that you get to see which do you actually like, rather than being also just committed to one age group.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely an advantage, isn't it, of being a first-time teacher, is you can kind of dip your hand in everything.
Yeah, because like a lot of people, I think sometimes like that I've been chatting to, we kind of go in with it thinking that like it's one age group that we really like, and then you're like, oh, but I missed that. Like the little kids are real. They love the teacher, and it's really cute and affectionate, and it's a really nice part that I'm like, I didn't think I would like as much.
Yeah.
And they're super affectionate. But then it's also really nice like with the older kids, because they really like it's really fun, engaging, and with a bit more conversation with them, listening to their type of music and stuff like that. So there's like really nice levels of relationships with all age groups.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing about internships, is you get an idea what kind of teacher I want to be, or even what kind of job, what age do I want to work with. I definitely think it gives a great idea of that too. So Lily, tell us, do you have any advice for those thinking of doing an internship? What would be your top tip?
I think top tips, I feel like be really open to change.
Mm.
I have been wanting to do this program for a number of years, but COVID happened, so it definitely was just having to put it back. And I suppose you have kind of different expectations, and like I've really enjoyed it. Like I don't think I could have imagined, because I've never been to this continent before. I really didn't understand how different the culture was. So I don't think I could have expected how much I would like it in the ways that I love it. And I think Thailand is such an amazing place with the culture. Everyone who I've met here is so nice. I'm a solo traveler. I was quite worried about it, but to be honest, I felt really supported, which has been so nice. And I think everyone, all of the other girls, there's a lot of girls, there's a lot of guys as well, actually. I suppose sometimes in Ireland, when we think of teachers, we think mainly females. So it's nice having a lot of guys as well. And like everyone is like such a community. And I think it's like, I think when you like build that kind of teacher community, the place gets a lot more homely. Like I have friends up in Bangkok and Udon Thani that I was over with, and like technically their age is away, but Thailand doesn't seem as scary than when I first came here. So I think it's nice being part of that kind of organization, because you kind of do have like that little built-in safety net and community, and obviously you make more friends on the way. So these have all been things that I was kind of hoping for, but didn't really like know what to expect. So they're definitely really nice. I think it's reassuring. Other advice, you definitely won't know it all. I came with like a massive suitcase packed for everything. I like to be super prepared, and I'm like, yeah, you kind of just learn to go with it, learn to
go with the flow.
Go with the flow, figure it out as you go. Be prepared.
I have a question there for you, Lily, from Mairead. How long is Lily's internship, and which courses or training did she do beforehand?
So the program I signed up for is 3 months. Unfortunately, I have to go back home because I have a wedding, a family wedding that I have to go to. So I'm here for 4 weeks. But to be honest, my first week, I felt like a lot of culture shock. And I suppose I've done solo traveling in Europe before, but this is so much further away. I was like, oh, I should be okay with it. But then I was kind of like, will I stay for the 4 weeks, I think? And now I'm like, I don't want to go. If I didn't have this family event on, I would 100% be staying. Like, I really, really love it. And I did the 120-hour TEFL teaching course before I came over. So yeah, it was great having that done as well beforehand. So I could kind of just, because I'm here for like a short period, I could just start straight away pretty much. Like I didn't start the minute I got off the plane, which was nice too. But they were really flexible, being like, your first week you were still doing stuff, still getting the lay of the land, as well as understanding now you're going to be going to school.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like even though it like 3 months to me before I came here felt and sounded like a long time, now that I'm here, I'm like, I could easily stay for another 2 and it'll be fine. Like it'll fly.
I know, the time just went like that, I imagine. You'll just have to go back, Lily. That's the only solution. Perfect. So guys, if you have any more questions there for Lily, I'm just going to move on to Grania now, but if you do have any questions, pop them in the chat box there. Thank you so much, Lily. That was really, really great. So Grania, hi Grania.
Hello.
Hello. So Grania, if you could start by telling us about your experience, your school, and of course your students.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, all I can tell you is about my experience, you know, in my school. I was in a Hagwon, or a private English academy in Mokdong, which is kind of on the western side of Seoul. So I was in Seoul city, which is huge and very, very busy. So Mokdong is kind of like an education district. Like the city is so big, it's got its own education district, which has got like loads of public and private schools. And ours was one of the kind of the biggest in the area. So there's 2 buildings, one for the younger students who are in Western age, kind of 3 and 4, and one for the older kids, which went from like 5 to 7. So the oldest kids we had would have been 7. I was teaching all 4 and 5-year-olds. The teachers from everywhere, you know, from the States, from Ireland, you know, Scotland. There's a Scottish girl there too. So you kind of do have, you know, you kind of have fun with the other teachers kind of, you know, at work. Every class kind of has a Korean co-teacher, which is really helpful. Their main role is to kind of take care of the kids' more practical needs, whereas your main responsibility is teaching. And foreign teachers typically don't have that much contact with the parents. So we would leave that to the Korean teachers to do that.
You don't have to do with the parents.
Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky. I had very nice parents, and you know, there was no drama or anything like that.
Yeah.
But that's typically the Korean teacher's job, so that's one less thing for you to kind of worry about. Hagwons or private academies have really small class sizes typically, whereas like in Ireland we might have 20 or 30 kids to a class. In Korea, private academies typically have anywhere between 7 and 12 students. So it's much more concentrated and it's much more kind of intensive, which is kind of has its benefits as well. And as I said, all my kids were 4 and 5 years old. I had 3 groups of kids. I had my daily kindergarten kids who came in the mornings till the afternoon. And then I had 2 groups, Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday, Thursday. ASP, which is like an after school group who would come in then until about 5. So I really did, like I worked with about 30 kids in different groups in the 1 year. Yeah, so my kinder kids would come in between 9:30 and 2:30. And then the ASP or after school kids would be there from 3 until 5. And you are teaching all that time. It is a full-time 5-day-a-week job in a hagwon. There's no such thing as kind of part-time or anything like that. You are very much there all the time. And then once the after school kids go home, then we have half an hour until 5:30 to catch up on your admin work and to kind of tie up any loose ends, clean up, get ready for tomorrow. And that was kind of a typical day. The kids also have kind of gym and Chinese classes, so it's not all English, but the vast majority of their day is with you as their teacher. And your Korean co-teacher should be in the room for most of the time if you need any help or assistance in if there's something the kids are kind of struggling with, you can call on your co-teacher to kind of step in and maybe help. The one thing I will say is if you have any Korean whatsoever, do not speak Korean to your students.
Okay,
do
interesting.
not.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, many schools are not okay with that. Some, I can't speak for public schools, I can't speak for other hagwons, but my school in particular was not happy if you were to speak any kind of Korean with the kids. They're not supposed to know you speak Korean. It's very much an immersive, all about the English. And the parents won't be happy either if you do speak Korean to the kids. And last thing I'll say is kind of, so you do grammar classes, reading classes, presentation classes. Maybe once a month, they might give a presentation. And it's kind of like a page and they'll just kind of learn their lines and get up and read it and we film it and it's really cute. Classes are typically 35 minutes and then you have a bathroom break in between, up to 5 classes with those kids every day with the daily kinder kids. You have recess, so 2 classes, then recess, then another class, then lunch, then 2 more classes and then they go home. Wow. So it's not the longest of days, but it's definitely very, very intensive. And you do have to manage your own tiredness. So
yeah, absolutely.
Like I just dumped a lot on you there now.
No, that is very informative. No, thank you. No, it's very interesting just to hear about, you know, going through your daily life there. That's fantastic. And how do you feel, you know, compared to how you started and now? What skills do you think you've gained since then?
Yeah, definitely. So I went into the year with no formal teaching experience. I'd never taught in a classroom before. And like Lily, I did the 120-hour course.
Mm-hmm.
I had worked kind of as a private tutor a little bit, but for Korean for one child. But I had never taught in a classroom capacity. So I definitely was learning on the job. You can feel sometimes like you're being thrown in the deep end if you've got no formal teaching experience, as I did. But I was given a week to shadow, which, if anybody doesn't know, shadowing is kind of sitting in on another class for the day, just to kind of learn the ropes and watch how the other teachers are doing it. And I definitely did, like I said, learned on the job. And I kind of, what was really beneficial to me was learning how to work with young kids much better. I think I learned just as much from them as they did from me. I had great kids. I love my kids. I miss them desperately. But if you it's important to kind of lean on your co-workers so you can kind of perform at your best. There's no shame in asking the other teachers for advice. If you feel stuck on something, if you don't know how to do something or teach a concept or whatever, it is fine. Ask questions. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't make yourself feel like you're bad at your job. You're still learning. It's your first time doing it. So yeah, definitely do lean on your co-workers.
I totally agree, Grania. I feel like obviously you can have all that support and your co-teachers, but sometimes your colleagues are the best source of advice.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any other advice, Grania, for those who are thinking of doing an internship?
Funny you ask. I have loads of it.
I'm gonna get
if anybody wants to grab a pen, I have loads of advice. In terms of work, in terms of actual work advice, like I said, talk to other teachers. Don't be afraid to ask for teaching advice from more experienced teachers or teachers who have been there longer than you've been there. I credit the head teacher for our kind of grade with saving my life every day. She was the only other teacher that taught that class level, and I learned so much from her, and we were like that. We were so close. In terms of your personal life outside of work, which is just as important, have friends inside and outside of work. It is very, very easy to make your job your life when you are living somewhere for your job. When you have moved to a new country, it is so easy to feel like you're the rug has been pulled out from under you. What am I doing? I'm so lonely. There are days when you can feel very much overwhelmed. That's just the truth of it. If it's your first time living and working abroad, there will be challenges, but be open to it, learn new things, make new friends. I made some great friends there. I met a girl, I live in Youghal, I'm in a small town. I met a girl at a birthday party in Seoul who spent her summers in Youghal.
Oh, wow.
It's a crazy small world. Other thing is, make sure you're maintaining frequent contact with your friends and family at home. There will be a time difference. It's 8 hours in the summer and 9 hours in the winter. They don't do daylight savings. So pick your times to call and make sure you're video calling and keeping up, because it's very easy to feel like you might be on a different planet. I might as well be on Mars. I'm so far away. And the other thing is, learn a few words of Korean. If you're going to Korea, or if you're going to Thailand or Italy or wherever you're going, learn, even if it's a little bit, just enough to get you through, even if you can if you're lost or need to find the subway, or if you need to order in a restaurant or ask to use a phone or whatever, have the very basics so you can get through the day. It will definitely benefit you. And your experience, what I took away from it is, your experience won't necessarily reflect somebody else's experience. You must have heard accounts from some people who loved it, some people who didn't love it so much. It's not for everybody, but don't let it not to be negative about it, but there is good and there's bad about living abroad. So it was my first time living and working abroad, and it can be overwhelming, but if you apply yourself at your job and you have fun outside of work, you'll have a blast.
Yeah.
It's a great experience to have, and keep in contact with TEFL. Stay in contact with TEFL if you have any issues, definitely.
Absolutely. No, we're always here, of course, if anything happens. You do have in-country support, but I think it's so nice to have a bit of Irish support as well.
Definitely, absolutely. I had anher Irish teacher working in the school too, so that was nice.
Great, absolutely. I think it's nice though to have a mix as well, isn't it? As you're saying, teachers from mostly native speakers from all different parts of the world is really great. No, that's fantastic, Grania. I just have a question there actually for you in the chat. So in Korea, do they also ask for one-to-one classes or tutorials?
I think they do. That depends on the parents and how much the parents kind of want that. You are not allowed on your contract to work outside of your contract hours. And your visa will not allow you. If you're found to be making money outside of your job, because your boss is the one sponsoring your visa, your school is sponsoring your visa, and if you go outside of those work hours and you're making money from that, you can lose your job. So you're typically not allowed to take one-on-one things. There could be a time when, maybe a kid is staying in from lunch or something and needs extra help with something, but in terms of doing one-on-one classes, they'd have to go to a tutor for that. You're not allowed to do that in a Hagwon, at least.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you have a lot on your plate anyway, so
exactly.
It's enough. Just another query there as well. So Grania, would you have any advice for people who are worried about making a social faux pas when teaching with a Korean school for the first time? Good question.
So that is a really good question. There is definitely a lot of culture shock in terms, like it's a Confucian country, so it's very much respect based. You can't really talk to people as comfortably as you can talk to them, at home. Mairead, if you'd like to specify kind of what kind of social faux pas you mean, I'm sure I can probably help a bit more with that. I know I made a lot of mistakes, but again, you're learning on the job.
It's normal.
I mean, social faux pas.
I think even with the cultural course as well, that's definitely an advantage, and your orientation, you probably did get some heads up on a few things, I imagine.
I studied Korean language and culture in college, so I kind of was pretty familiar with that. That's my degree. But even then, you can't possibly know everything going over there. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to trip up, and it's fine. They don't expect you. You're not Korean. They don't expect you to be perfect at everything. They don't even expect you to speak any Korean. So even if you do, that's great. But don't put too much pressure on yourself to be great at everything all the time. Absolutely not. It's not realistic.
Absolutely. Just another question from Mairead. Okay, just about teaching English. So yeah, Mairead, we actually have some great webinars on teaching English online if you are looking for a job online. And also we have lots of resources on our website. If you want to pop me an email, maybe we can book a call and talk about teaching English online. Another question then, Nigel, are you learning Korean while you are there too? Or are you doing lessons actually? Yeah, Grania.
So I studied Korean language in college, as I said. So I kind of had intermediate Korean going over. So I was able to kind of get by with that. I didn't know everything, I made mistakes again. But if you're using it and you're confident in trying to speak it, you will definitely learn lots of Korean, even if it means just your comprehension skills. If you're understanding what's being said around you, you're learning. I didn't take any lessons while I was there because you are immersed in it, but just don't speak it at work. Even if you can, maybe speak with your co-teachers or something, your other Korean teachers when the kids aren't there, have a chat, or even with the man in the shop like I did, that really helped me learn.
Yeah, I like
You know what
that.
I mean? Just little bits. Little bits
Absolutely.
are just as valuable as like paying for classes, definitely.
And Lily, actually, do you have any kind of advice in that area about faux pas and language and everything?
Yeah, so like I was like Grania said, I think it's really important, like the friendships you make. I think definitely, even though like Thailand is in Asia too, it's super different to Korea. I think a lot of the Thai people, it's part of their culture that they're like super friendly. So having as much Thai, I think they appreciate. And if you have no Thai, they're still super helpful. It depends on what area of the country that I've been in. Some have more English, some don't. And yeah, like certain things that I was researching, like do's and don'ts. For example, I read that it's really important you don't touch a child's head in Thailand, because it's one of their closest parts to enlightenment. So, and I was kind of like, oh, that's no big deal. I didn't think that I would. And then when I went to school and they're all like down to my waist and hugging you, you kind of like, you didn't think that you would touch their heads as much. But then I was like super, oh my God, I can't do it. But then you'd see some of the Thai teachers there, they would like end up touching the kids' heads, and that like like an affectionate rub, or if you're telling them to go to their seats or something. So that's not as strict as I thought. Whereas like little other phrases. So I thought I was good at languages, but I'm actually quite bad.
Except English.
Except English. I've made a few Thai friends here, and they're amazing. They're constantly trying to teach me words and phrases, and they're in one ear out the other. I can't keep it. So, but like they there's phrases that I would learn that I'm like, oh, can I say this? And they're like, nah, you don't really say. That's what you say to an animal, not a human. And I'm like, thank God I asked. I won't be saying that to one of the kids. For like, good job. So yeah, I think like little things like that you'll learn it depending on who friends you make. And like I've been learning so much about like the social protocol with monks, because we're having a lot of interaction with monks, and especially as females, like the do's and don'ts with them. And I'm learning it from Thai friends as well as Westerners who have learned it through Thai friends. So I think your social circle will help you with it, and you kind of like that you learn on the job. And also, if anyone, this is something I found out, that I love technology over here. If anyone is nervous about not having a lot of like Thai coming over, Google Lens is absolutely amazing. Anywhere I've gone. So if I went to Udon Thani last weekend, and they have much less Westerners and much less West or English in menus or signposts. So you're a little bit more lost, but literally Google Lens, you can just put it up and it will translate everything straight away for you. So it has been amazing we've been traveling around, you go to a temple and there's a sign all in Thai. I can read it and find the history, or if I can go to a menu, I can show it. I do definitely think Google Translate has come on a lot when I'm in a shop, and the shop assistants, they're super nice, but we can't talk. We'll both just we'll Google Translate, and it's like, oh yeah. So that is my mom told me get a power bank when I was coming over. I was like, Mom, I never use it in Ireland. I won't use it here. Definitely invest in a power bank, because you use your phone a lot more here to help you get around. But like, listen to your mom. But it's definitely worth it. So like the language barrier, I feel it isn't too bad for me getting for safety wise. Like if I'm ever lost, no problem. I'll figure it out, from here. And who you meet, I met friends the first day I came here, and they introduced me to the app Grab. It's like
the Ubers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the stuff on that, and like even communicating with my Grab driver, the computer will translate it for me. So it's super handy. Like, you kind of figure it out as you go, but like, and in Thailand, yeah, they don't mind you speaking Thai. They enjoy it. Some of the teachers over here who are from New Zealand or from Canada, they're actually like their heritage is Thai, so they're fluent. So like they come over and like they're very physically Westerners, and they'll be speaking fluent Thai, and the people love it, So maybe it just depends on where in Asia you go, if like, but obviously it just depends where you want to go.
Absolutely. No, 100%. And I think all those elements, that's part of an internship as well. It's character building and building that independence as well, which is fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Grania and Lily. That was probably the best advice I've actually heard yet from interns. So thank you so much. I'm just going to move on there now, guys. Just the final part to our virtual teaching practice. So is there another way to gain, experience besides our internships? We do offer a course in where you can get virtual teaching practice. So I just want to know, guys, here who's interested in our virtual teaching practice course. If you want to give me a thumbs up, I'd be interested to know. I know a lot of you there had a great few questions on the internships. So yeah, let me know if you are interested. Okay, great. So just to give you a bit of an insight there, guys, what is our virtual teaching practice course? It is an interactive online TEFL course that is delivered live by our experienced tutors. It gives you the chance to learn classroom teaching skills, talk to other inspiring teachers, and also get your burning TEFL questions answered by your academic team. So you'll go away with some really great tips for our tutors and be a much more confident classroom leader as well from day one. How it works, guys, it's spread over 2 days. So you'll join a 3.5-hour session per day on Zoom. Plus you'll also get 3 hours of personal study in between as well. And we also have a lot of regular dates for these classes that you can join, even if it's during the week or at the weekend, in the mornings or in the evenings. It will fit around your schedule. So why do this course? What are the benefits? So firstly, I think a huge pro there of this course is that you will get observed practice and feedback from one of our tutors and also from peers. So you'll be joined, there will be 11 other students in this course, and you'll get their feedback as well, which, as we discussed with Grania, learning from your colleagues or your peers is probably one of the most valuable aspects of these experiences. Also, this might give you a competitive edge as well, especially if you're going into the European market where you might be competing with, they're looking for higher qualifications. If you have this on your CV, it is really a great factor and really impressive. As I said, being able to interact with our expert TEFL tutors and gain their industry advice is really, really valuable. And of course, you can put what you've learned from your TEFL course into practice. So if you've done our TEFL course online beforehand, this complements it really well, something to do afterwards. Similar to the internship, you can get a taste of TEFL before you commit, even if you want to do this before your internship, just to see what it's like. It's perfect for this. And of course, a very cost-effective and convenient way to gain teaching practice, as opposed to maybe going for investing in another course that would be on site. This is very cost-effective. A really crucial part there as well, it's great preparation and a real great confidence boost. Maybe if you have a demo lesson coming up or an interview for a TEFL job, this is a great way to prepare. And of course, to meet the increasing demand for online presentation skills in any industry, not just a TEFL job. As you know, after the pandemic, everything has come online now, even presentations, meetings. You can gain your confidence in presenting through this course as well. So if you have any questions there, guys, as well, just to remind you, please pop them in the chat and we will come to them. So I have here today Aisling, our marketing intern, who's actually completed our 10-hour teaching practice course, and she's going to tell us all about it. So hi, Aisling, how are you?
Hi guys, how are we?
Good, good. So Aisling, could you tell us what's involved in this course?
So basically what's involved in this course is it's very interactive. So it's not just your basic sit in front of your laptop and just listen to it. Like, it's very, very interactive, and our tutors have this nailed down to the T. So basically they'll teach you all the essentials that you need going into the classroom. So I'm not gonna lie, I went in with an open mind, and during the presentations, my tutor Michelle was going through the bare basics of English. So like the things that you would have learned when you were just starting off in school, you were relearning, and like learning that now is from the teacher's perspective to teach it is mind-blowing now. But and the detail that goes into it is fantastic. So there's lots of activities where like you're interacting with the tutors and with your peers as well, which I think is so essential, because you're realistically going to be doing that on either your internship, online, or abroad. So I think something like that is so essential. And there's a load of teamwork in it as well. So what I actually loved about this course is we actually got a little bit of homework. So I did my course on a Saturday and Sunday. So basically our tutor was like, okay, I would like you to prep a demo class for us, and you're going to spend 15 minutes in the following class the following day teaching each other. So it was brilliant, and we got paired up with someone. So I got paired up with a woman named Crystal from Wisconsin, and she was so lovely. She was actually originally an elementary school teacher for years beforehand. And so we kind of worked together on it, and then we presented it the next day. So like I thought that was really, really good, because like, again, it shows you how to work with your co-workers and your pupils that you will be doing in the future. So I thought that was very, very good.
Fantastic. And what did you learn from the course, even just what the content is?
So basically, again, as it was said, it's split into 2 days. So like the first day you kind of learn the introduction to teaching practices. Examples of this would be classroom management, effective communication, and verbal communication, anything like that. So that would be kind of the bulk of it. But then going into day 2 would be putting your theory into practice. So if basically you'd be teaching the 4 skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So you'd be teaching that the next day. So like, it's kind of like, the way I kind of see it is like, you kind of learn everything the first day, you're paired up with your partner to make a demo class, and then you teach it the next day.
Okay.
So that's the way I definitely found it, and it was brilliant. It really, really was. It definitely taught me a load. But no, it was fantastic, and the detail that was in it was brilliant.
Yeah. That's great that you have both elements. So the theory first, you can build up your confidence a bit, and then actually do the lesson on the next day. That's fantastic. Yeah, really great. And do you have any advice for those who are interested in doing the course? Any tips?
I would definitely go in with an open mind, because like I'm not gonna lie, I went in open-minded, and I was blown away with what I learned from it, genuinely. There was definitely some elements of it that I didn't think I'd be relearning again, like you know, again, going back to like grammar things when you learned as a child, learning that then, and the grammar now is from the teacher's perspective, again, is just totally different. But it's so essential as a TEFL teacher.
Absolutely, go back to basics. Yeah,
that's it. And another thing I would definitely do is listen to other people's experience and feedback. So as we kind of presented in front of each other, the second it was done, we got feedback. There's no harm in listening into it, because like you could like that could make that helps you make you the better teacher, you know, that kind of way. So learning from other people's experience. So I would definitely listen to other people's experiences, opinions and feedback. And one last thing, the flexibility of times is brilliant, because I was just starting placement. So I was working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So I picked a Saturday and Sunday course, me thinking that it was on at 7:30 and it was originally on at 7 o'clock. So my poor tutor was getting a notification from me trying to log in when she didn't have a clue who I was, and just let me in anyway. So so just like make note of the time that you signed up for.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's absolutely brilliant. I really genuinely did enjoy it, and it really made me feel that like I could walk into a classroom the next day being like, okay, I can actually teach now. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if you maybe had an interview coming up or you had to do a demonstration lesson, I think this is something fantastic to do the day before even.
110%, it is fantastic. Like, and as you said, it will give you that competitive edge. So like that'll help you stand out on your CV, you know, things like that.
Hugely, yeah, because of course it's fantastic to have your, you know, required qualifications, your 120 or your 180-hour diploma, but to have that, you know, experience of teaching practice, especially if you've never worked in TEFL before or don't have any formal experience, this is something really great that you can list on your CV as well. So thank you, Aisling. That's a really great insight into our course. If you do have any questions, please let us know. I'm just going to pop in there, guys, the links to sign up for this course if you're interested. We're just going to end now with the Q&A session. If you did have any questions to ask us, I'm just going to have a quick look through if I missed any. So I have a question from Pamela. I have already done a TEFL 120-hour course. Is there any reduction in the internship price? Yes, absolutely. So if you are certified with us already, there's we can arrange a discount on our internship for you. If you already have the training part done, that's fantastic. So absolutely get in touch with us. I'm just going to pop our emails there if you are interested in booking a internship, and you can inquire about a discount on our internships. So just there for you, Pamela, if you want to get in touch. So let me keep going here. So Nigel, is there a cost to using the internship service? Yes, so we do sell these internships, but usually it's all inclusive. So majority of things will be included, such as accommodation, support, orientation, really depends on the internship, but you have everything covered. So it's different from going traveling where you have to save up a load of money and have to pay all these expenses. Majority of the expenses are included in this internship and organized for you. So this is a fantastic way to, if you are, you know, looking at budget travel, you know, you can book onto this internship and then you'll be also earning money abroad. So you don't have to save up a huge amount. That was actually my personal reason for doing an internship in TEFL. I didn't want to save up all this money to go traveling. I just wanted to start going out, start working and make my way there. Another question there from Marie. Is it true that it's harder to get a TEFL job in the Germanic or Nordic countries versus other countries in Europe like Spain, Italy, or Eastern Europe? Interesting question. There probably is a perception that probably the Germanic and Nordic countries probably have a higher level of English already, the students there, and places typically such as Spain and Italy, you may have been, you know, heard that they could have been voted the worst English in Europe or something like that. But yeah, I think Spain is definitely probably one of the most popular TEFL destinations because of the amount of jobs that are going, and particularly Italy as well, and even Eastern Europe. But I think, you know, a way to safeguard against that is make sure, you know, okay, am I going for the best qualification? even going for our TEFL diploma, that will give you a competitive edge. And as we discussed, our virtual teaching practice course, if you do find the job market is a bit more competitive in some countries. Just double check, I didn't miss any questions there. Oh, I see one there from PR. So, do these internships have any financial assistance? Do you get paid for living expenses? So some of our internships, for example, our South Korean internship, accommodation is included. You know, certain elements such as transfers from the airport, anything like that, those kind of expenses would actually be covered for you. So it just depends which internship you're looking at, but we have all the details on our website as well. Question there, will you be doing just the one course, 10-hour virtual course, or will you be offering another one further on at regular intervals throughout the next few weeks or months? Many thanks. No, so this is actually ongoing. So we have this 10-hour virtual teaching practice course very regularly. So if you go into the link, you can see the slots that are available, but it's running very regularly. So no, don't worry, this is not just a once-off. All right, perfect, guys. So I'm just going to pop in again there the links for our internships, just in case if you missed it. And of course, if you have any more questions, please feel free to email us, or you can book a call with one of our consultants and speak about our internships or even the 10-hour teaching practice course. And if you did enjoy this webinar, please leave us a review. I'm just going to send you the link there now, and you can also claim for a free 30-hour specialist course, which you can add to your CV. It'll look great on your resume. If you mention myself, Jessica, or Aisling in the review, you can claim a free TEFL course. So I'm just going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. It was a fantastic webinar, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.